Welcome back to the lesson. In this video, we're going to start discussing about dictionaries in Python. Dictionaries are used to store data values in key value pairs. They are basically a collection which is ordered, changeable, and do not allow duplicates, and are created or written with curly brackets. So let's actually go ahead and create one to see for ourselves. Now let's come down below here and define our dictionary name first. And go ahead and say my dict. Okay, dictionary, my dictionary, which is going to be equals to curly brace. It is created with curly bracket as I've mentioned earlier, so we can write our dictionary elements or values in a straight line, or we can simply go ahead and expand it like so. And then we're going to go ahead and start specifying our keys and value pairs. Let me go ahead and define a car. Let me say brand in quotation marks, brand separated with column like so, and then the value should be Ford, something like this, and then separated with comma, and the second key should be model like so, and separated with colon, and then the value should be Mustang. Okay, and comma. And lastly, let's go ahead and define another key, year, separated with column, and the year should be 1987, something like this. So this is basically how we go about defining a dictionary, and we store our data in key value pairs, which, as you can see right here, the first value here is the key, while the second value after the colon is the value. Now if I should go ahead and print out our dictionary, let's come down below here and say print my dict like so, and then go ahead and run our script. As you can see, we'll be presented with our dictionary. Alright, this is the key and this is the value, this is the key and this is the value, and also this is the key and here is also the value for that specific key. So remember, in our previous video about tuples and lists, we use indexing to access our iterable items. But in dictionary right here, whenever we wanted to refer to or access individual elements, we refer to their keys. So let me actually go ahead and show you that. Now we're going to go ahead and come after our dictionary name, we specify the square bracket, just like when we wanted to use the indexing, but this time around we're not using indexing but rather keys. So let's say we wanted to access the first value right here. So all we need to do is refer to its key, which is brand right here. So let's come over here inside of our square bracket and say brand like so. Now we're going to get Ford. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our script. As you can see, we get Ford. So this is how we go about accessing our dictionary items. Let's actually go ahead and say model this time around. We wanted to access model. And run our script. As you can see, Mustang and year, and as you can see, if we run our script, we get 1987. So dictionary are changeable, meaning that we can change, add, or remove items after the dictionary has been created. And dictionary do not allow duplicate items, meaning dictionaries cannot have two items with the same key. For instance, let me actually go ahead and duplicate this, copy this, paste it down below here. Alright, let me actually adjust this a bit and put a comma right here. Alright, so this is not allowed in dictionary. Let me actually go ahead and change the value right here to 1988, 1987, and now if we go ahead and let me actually get rid of this and print our script. As you can see, we only have 1988, meaning the second value right here, the second key, override the first one. So there's no need for us to have two items with the same key. So let's actually go ahead and get rid of this one. Okay, and this is totally fine. And we can go ahead and see the length of our dictionary using the length function. Remember the length function? Let's come over here and say len, open parentheses, close our parentheses like so. And if you go ahead and run our script, as you can see, we have 3 because we have 3 items inside of our dictionary, 1 through and 3. And also the values in the dictionary items can be of any data type. So for instance, let's actually go ahead and add more items inside of our dictionary. So let me actually go ahead and say is for sale, like so. And then I'm gonna go ahead and say false. Okay, as you can see, we can have Boolean value. And let me actually come down below here and add one more element. Let's say color. Okay, or colors separated with column, like so. And we can add a list of colors. So let me actually go ahead and create a list. Let's say we have red, we have white, and we have blue color, something like this. And let's actually go ahead and add a semicolon right here. Alright, as you can see, we have string, we have Boolean data type, we have int data type, and we have a list, an iterable. So let's actually go ahead and now run our script, print our my dict. Now we have 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's actually go ahead and print only the dictionary. Alright, let's go ahead and run our script. As you can see, we have our dictionary returned with no error because our dictionary values can be of any data type. And now let me actually go ahead and print the is for sale. Right, let me actually go ahead and see whether our car is for sale or not. Say is for sale, run our script, we're gonna get false. Alright, and let's actually go ahead and now print colors. Paste this, run our script. As you can see, we have our list of colors, red, white, and blue. And if I wanted to access individual color inside of our list, we can come over here and specify another square bracket and say, you know, list our index, so we can refer to the specific index. For red have index 0, white has index 1, and blue has index 2. So let's actually go ahead and set index 0. Alright, now we should be getting red. Now let's go ahead and run our script. As you can see, we get red right here. Alright, and we can of course use the type method. You remember the type method that we can use to check the data type of our dictionary. So let's actually come over here and get rid of this. And then let's come right here and use the type method, type, like so, and wrap it inside of our type method. Now let's go ahead and run our script. As you can see, we have dict. So this is a dictionary. As you can see, it's been created using curly bracket, and we store our items in key value pairs inside of our dictionary. So friend, that will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and that everything is clear to you, and I will see you in the next one.